Hi, I'm Bob Welden, a friend of Dell's for more than 60 years. Uh, Elsewhere, there's a video by Brenda Flynn, Matt Johnstone's granddaughter. And one of the things Brenda says is that her grandfather, Matt Johnstone, and Dell Loader were best friends, and that was absolutely true. The entire Johnstone family, Matt, his wife Carolyn, and their sons Bob, who was my age, Jim, Don, and Lindsay, were all very active in scouting. And we got to know each other very, very well. They lived at that time in Dawson Street in South Seattle, and Dell and I and our friend Dave Herwick, who had been a member of Dell's troop and also a member of the Explorer Patrol that I'm going to talk about later. And we became very close friends with the Johnstones, spent many visits with them. Dell enjoyed introducing us to new things. I remember he introduced us to a game called Skittles and also to a sort of French card game called Milborns. He also liked to sort of give us pop quizzes on current events. One I always remember was he said, do you know who Lennon, McCartney, Harrison, and Starr are? And I said, is that a law firm? Of course, it was some young British singing group called the Beatles. Whatever happened to them, I wonder. Anyway, we had great times. I heard someone refer to us as the Dawson Street Gang. Dell and Matt both very much believed that scouting depended upon boy leadership. And Dell formed Danbeard Rangers, and I think that the basis for it happened at the Johnstones' home. I was involved in that. I was on the staff for the first couple of years of Danbeard Rangers. I was at Camp Shepherd, a beautiful, spectacular place, of course, to be. And we had some great times, Danbeard. As Brenda said, Dell liked to take young people to introduce them to the theater and the opera. And every year he was a member of the Gilbert and Sullivan Society, and he would organize a get-together of all of the Johnstone family and Dave Herwick and his wife and me and my partner, now my husband. And we would have great times together at these Gilbert and Sullivan parties. I wasn't surprised some years later. I think it may have been driving up to the dedication of Camp Piggott, and Dell and I were talking. We were talking about some of the changes that happened in scouting over the years, particularly with girls and gays being involved in scouting. And he asked me if I thought that any of the lodge chiefs during my 8 or 10 years of being directly involved in the OA were gay. And I thought for a minute, and I said, well, I know at least 3 who were, not that I knew it then, but I knew them as adults. I think he was a little surprised at that, but being Dell, he just sort of tucked it away as one more piece of interesting information about the way scouting had changed. As Dell's health deteriorated, he executed a power of attorney naming Don Johnston and me as his, let's call it, attorney in fact. I was mostly living in Palm Springs when Dell got to the point where he needed those kinds of services. So the laboring oar fell to Don and Kathy, who took care of Dell, saw to his making his medical appointments and preparing his house for sale, and of course disposing of his Boy Scout collection. I once asked Dell what he wanted to do with all of that wonderful scouting memorabilia that he had collected. And he wanted to go to a museum or something of that sort. And he said, no, So I wanted to be out there for other people to have the joy of collecting like I had all my life. And that was Dell. He believed in sharing and spreading the knowledge and the pleasures that he had had in life. And we all loved him for it.